we have a problem. Last night I was driving the van back and it decided to throw up a load of error codes, ABS, like come on, insufficient charge, all of these things, and then finally the stop. All my lights went dim. I managed to pull over and then tried to start the van again to see if that would reset it, and the battery is flat. So I jump started the van. I looked at the app because my charger will tell me the voltage of my alternator, and my alternator wasn't charging. So I opened the bonnet, which I'll show you the mess later. The engine oil has gone everywhere. The cap on top of the engine cover itself has popped open and it's flung oil all over the bonnet, all over the top of the engine, down the side of the engine and into the alternator. So I have now got the wonderful task of attempting to clean it and degrease the alternator for the time being, to see if I can get it to go, because at the moment I can't charge anything really, and I've got a diesel heater and it's cold and I want to be able to use it, and plus the van won't run without the alternator. So I'll catch you at the front and we can have a look. This is what I've got. I've got some all-purpose wipes that are grease removing and oil. I've got contact cleaner that I will use to spray in the alternator itself. I've looked on Google and talked to Gemini, and that seems to be a good option to try. Obviously I lost oil, so I'm going to fill the oil back up just to get rid of some of the mess. And then I've got some brake cleaner to wipe on the metal parts around the side of the engine and just try and get some of the grease off. This is probably not the best thing to be using on rubber and stuff, so I'll use that on a rag and try and clean up some of the mess. On the plus side, I've got quite the view for a place where I'm doing this right now. Just show you this. So I've got to get the battery terminal off under the seat. Well, not quite under the seat, but in the front of the van. Disconnect that and make sure that that doesn't touch whilst I'm doing this, because the contact cleaner can cause shorts. And it is down there. I'm right next to a busy road, so it's a bit awkward for me to get in. So I'm hoping that this will be able to pop off, and then that means we're completely disconnected. I've got some technical material here as well. A piece of Christmas card which will work perfectly in separating the battery terminal from that whilst I'm doing the job, just for extra safety. As you can see, it is everywhere. The joys, huh? The joys. And then down here is the alternator, and it is full by the looks of things, with the amount of oil splattered all over this. And I think I'm pretty lucky that I realise now, because I'm pretty sure that would have caused a fire eventually. So now I've cleaned up as much of the oil that I can get up with the tissue paper, which is much better. So I'll hit you back up when I've used the wipes and see if that makes any difference. It's much better down there than all up on here, so fingers crossed. I rate these wipes from B&M Bargains, £2.50. Yeah, a whole bag of rags, but much cleaner than it was. Bonnet, it's not perfect, but it's too cold to be out here now faffing around, so that's much cleaner. I will do it properly again soon, but I just want to get the van running, so As you can see, I've given that a little scush. I'm about to try the contact cleaner. I'm just going to fill it and see what happens. The main objective here is, as you can see, look how much cleaner it is. It's not perfect, but if I can spray as much as I can into this, clean it all off. Just gonna degrease all of this down here and get as much as I can off it. So I've now sprayed half a can down in there, and look how much cleaner it looks. So I'm just hoping that's going to be enough just to clear it out. I've also cleaned up in here now, so there's no more oil above the exhaust. It's looking much cleaner. No longer got puddles of oil across the top of the engine, which is great. So it's absolutely freezing, so I'm just sitting in the van now because it says that you've got to wait 20 to 30 minutes before you should start it. But look how cold. My hand's freezing. So I'll get back with you when the 30 minutes is up. So I've reconnected the battery, and moment of truth. If this battery's even still alive, I might have to jump it off my second battery in the back. Nope. So it is completely dead, so that means I'm gonna have to jump it across the two batteries. So the van is running. I'm gonna check my app to see if we are running at 14 volts or totally not charging. So as you can see, I'm really happy. I managed to get it to work. So right now the app, which I'll link a photo in, is running at like 14.8, 14.2 volts. So yeah, it's working. It's actually working. Like, I did it. Like, I don't know how long it's gonna last, or whether I wake up in the morning and it's an absolute shit show and I've got to do it again. But for now, it could be the temporary fix that I need. So moral of this story is, make sure the oil cap is on, otherwise you'll have to do what I've just done, or maybe even get a new alternator, which I think in time will probably be the case. But right now it works and it's done, and we've got sound, we've got engine, no management lights whatsoever. Yeah, lights work, everything comes on like bright lights, because I lost power to all the lights and it was just running on minimum power. So I think I'm gonna take it for a little drive in a sec and see how that goes, because obviously when I was driving, and at the moment if there's oil in there, it's probably pretty cold. So once it starts moving, whether that oil will like recoat over the alternator. So all of these things are factors that I've got to take into account. But right now I thought this was going to be the start of a terrible Vanlife 2026 for myself, but I managed to do this for like 25 quid, something like that. And if it's a temporary fix or whether they've fixed it altogether, I'm not sure. Bad news, the quick fix that I used has not worked. So I talked to Gemini, and Gemini said basically, because the way that I did it worked, chances are that I can get it to work that way. So what I've got to do is try again. So it said that there's a casing on the back that I can take off without taking the alternator off, and hopefully I should be able to see the carbon brushes and be able to get the cleaner in there, because apparently where it heats up and then starts melting, it coats the spindle again. So with a bit of luck, I can get the nozzle in there and actually spray the whole thing in there and with a bit of luck it'll make it that it's fixed. So we shall see. Let's try again. So I've got to take off this, which is the heat shield, to be able to get to the bolts down there. You can't see them very well, but I'll show you when we get closer. So I've got the heat shield off, so now I've got better access to that. I'm hoping it's not going to be a case of messing it up if I take that case off, because that cable goes through, so I'm going to have to take that 30mm bolt off as well, so I'm not sure. So heat shield's back on, that's back on, phone died, so I wasn't able to get footage, but it's all back on, all bolted in, so now we need to wait. Fingers crossed this is the time. It ran for about 30 minutes roughly, but obviously it didn't stay, so now I've taken that cover off and sprayed onto the carbon brushes and onto the spindle itself. So with a bit of luck, in the next half hour we'll have some continuous power. So far so good. So where I've sprayed inside the regulator and where the brushes are directly onto the spindle, I think I might have just got enough in there so that they are making constant contact and it's broken down the film of the oil. So I'm not going to celebrate too soon again, because like I said, it was about 15 minutes to half an hour and it failed. It's been running now for about half hour. We're up to temperature, so I'm hoping that is it. We're still running at 14.1 to 14.2 volts on the app on the thing, so it's telling me that the alternator is running. So I'm just going to sit here for a little bit longer and then we might celebrate. I'm going to take it for a drive once it is up to temperature and see if that makes it play havoc or whether that's it. Fingers crossed. So I think it's fixed this time for real. I've run it for an hour idle sort of thing, and then I've now driven it for about 20-25 minutes and everything is up at the right voltage. The alternator hasn't gone off for the whole drive, plus the hour sort of idle. So fingers crossed that is it for this. And if you ever have the problem where oil goes on your alternator, before you buy a new alternator, maybe try the old contact cleaner and just spray the hell out of it. It saves you taking it off, and it saves you from all the palaver of having to find one, source one, and make one again, put it back on. So for the second time I'm gonna say this: like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Ba-doo!